Hey man, can you hear me?
Hey man, can you hear me?
Yeah, I got you. Can you hear me?
Cool. Yep. Still that delay, dude. Still, it's like a 5 second delay.
Yeah, it's kind of choppy sometimes too.
Yeah. I don't know.
How's it going?
It's all right. Yeah, man. Good. Yeah. Good. All
Cool.
is good. All is well. What about you?
Good, man. Just got off a bunch of calls. I got everything done last night, so we're going to kind of just go over everything step by step, how you're going to get started and what we're going to do for the first week. So, let's go ahead and get into it. Um the first
Yep.
thing is I'll send you a recording of this call. So everything that we talk about, like you can come back to this video if you need to. So don't feel like you need to take notes or remember everything. You'll have this video to refer back to if you need to.
Yeah, I might jot some stuff down here or there, but yeah. Yeah, we're good. Okay.
Okay. All right. So the first thing I wanted to go over is when you're getting in touch with these businesses, right? You're going to be using your Instagram account. So we basically need to make sure that that account just looks professional and normal, right? Which for you should be no problem. But I did take a look at it, and your account is private. So you're going to have to turn it to public first of all. So can you
Okay.
do that? Can you do that real quick so I can take a look at it?
Yeah. Let's see what we got. Oh God.
I
There we
think it's
go.
in account privacy.
Yeah, let's see what we got. Uh Settings and privacy. No, yeah, okay. Okay. Account privacy. Private account. Switch to public. Okay. Yep. It's good.
Okay, give me 1 second.
Yep. I thought I already added you. My bad.
No, no worries. Whenever you like if your account is private, you can't get in touch with other people, right? You can't like send messages. They can't see your profile. So that's why it has to be public whenever you're trying to get in touch with them.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, this is fine. So uh the whole point of me looking at the profile is I'm basically thinking like someone who's hiring, right? So if I got a message from you, the first thing I'm
Yeah.
going to do is go and click on your profile and think, okay, what does this person look like? Do they look like somebody I would want to hire? Your profile looks fine, so I wouldn't worry about it. The only thing that I would
Okay.
change, and this might sound really stupid, is I would change your profile picture to having your hood on to just like a picture of your face, like smiling. I know that might sound kind of
Okay.
dumb, but it's all these little things that people are going to look at. And people are so petty these days, dude. They'll pick out one thing and be like, "Oh, I don't like this person." You know what I mean? So you want to make it look
Oh
as
yeah.
normal
Yeah.
and professional as possible. But all the rest of it looks fine. I get on with some people sometimes, and they've got all these pictures of them like partying, smoking weed all over their profile. And I'm like, you have to take that stuff down, bro. Like you can't be like trying to get a job when you're smoking weed all over your profile and shit.
Yeah. No, it's, I mean, I use it as just like for fun to keep in contact with friends and shit. Um,
Yeah,
and like, yeah, I don't even smoke, truthfully. I've never enjoyed weed. So like, but yeah, people are idiots when it comes to social media, dude. They put everything on there.
yeah, it's crazy. Well, yours looks good. I would just pick like a good profile picture, kind of like mine. If you have one where you're just smiling,
Yeah.
it's just simple and easy. Um, Next question. Do you have any types of businesses or any types of niches that you would prefer to sell for, or are you kind of just open to everything?
I'm pretty much open to everything. I really don't. I actually thought about it last night, and as soon as you asked it, it left my head. Um, yeah. I don't really want to. I don't know if this is gonna sound like counterproductive, but like I don't want to sell like like a coaching program, if that makes sense.
Okay. Why?
Like I would more or less rather do like software sales,
Okay.
that type of thing. I sell and just like talk about it. Um, if you think that's a hindrance, I'll do whatever. It really like it's not a big deal. It was more or
Yeah.
less just me thinking like, and especially like if I'm not, so like you're doing one, like you're
Mhm.
doing a coaching program. I don't know if I'll necessarily get into that right away. So I feel like that would be harder for me to sell and be like, oh, hey, like I'm in, like I have one myself. You know what I mean? So I think that'd be easier to sell versus um me not doing that yet. Like you have one, so it's like, oh, hey, man, I do this on the side. Like it works really well. This is my success story, that type of thing. I wouldn't have that in the back of my pocket. So I think it'd be a little bit harder to like sell, if that makes sense.
So, couple things. You don't really need to have done the specific thing to just be a salesperson for a coaching program, right? You're just coming in to make sales. So, regardless of
Yeah.
whether you have experience with that thing or not, that's no big deal. Now, if you're running the coaching program like I am, then yeah, you're going to need that experience.
Yeah.
But as a salesperson, I wouldn't worry about it. And the reason I say that is one, we're going to find lots of coaching programs and they're really good to sell for because people really want to buy those programs. So coaching programs sell really well because typically they're based around things like dating, making money, improving your life in some way. So people come into coaching programs with a problem that they really want solved and they're like, hey, I really want help solving this problem. Please help me with this. So they're really good to sell for. So I would say kind of keep an open mind about that because you can make a ton of money selling coaching programs very easily. Also,
Okay.
we're gonna find like tons and tons of coaching programs, and we'll also find lots and lots of software businesses. But sometimes the software businesses are going to be slightly harder to get. That doesn't mean we won't get them, but you're going to find a lot more coaching programs. So I would say at the beginning, keep an open mind. I'm not saying you'll end up for a coaching program, but we're definitely going to come across a lot of them. So let's get into it. And then we kind of get into this a little bit and you're just adamant, you're like, hey, I don't want to do these, then we won't look at them, right? But at the beginning,
Okay.
kind of keep an open mind about it.
That's fair. Yeah, totally.
Okay. But yeah, as we go, at any time you have an idea, you're like, oh, hey, I thought of this. I'd really like to focus on these types of niches or these businesses. You can tell me that, and I'll go and verify businesses specifically in that area for you. So just as we go, look at it as like a process. Anytime you think of something, you can let me know.
Okay, sweet.
Okay, so next, let's schedule your weekly call. Typically, I do them on like Sundays or Mondays. Do those work good for you, or how do you feel?
Yeah, Mondays should work. I can do Sundays if you want me to. How long are they normally, give or take?
So I give you an hour, but typically they last about 20 minutes unless you just have a lot of stuff you want to talk about. So I like to give you the hour, but usually about 20 to 30 minutes. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, either one of those days right now should work. Mondays are gonna be a little bit better for me. Um
Okay.
just because some days sometimes my manager has me come into the bar on Sundays, so it'd be like a little bit more like a last minute type of thing versus Mondays I have completely off. So Mondays would work great.
Okay. Let's do Monday then. Can you do, let me see. And that works good for me too. So that's fine. Uh, Time to have that. Can you do 12 Eastern on Mondays?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's
Yeah. Noon
schedule
flat.
for,
Yeah.
yeah, noon Eastern every Monday. And that's 11 a.m. for me. Okay, just putting it in here. Okay. Okay, cool. So yeah, and like I said, every week we'll have that call. I'll give you a whole hour. We could talk about whatever you want, all the questions you have. I'll give you your weekly plan every week at that time, and everything else that's been happening, we'll go over that. So I'll give you a whole hour and we can take the whole time if you need. So the first thing that I'm going to do for you every week, and what I do for everybody that I work with, is I spend a lot of time locating these businesses and finding out who would be good to sell for and who is hiring. So most of my time
Okay.
in this program is me verifying those for you. So I'm going out and doing that upfront work, making sure that they sell good products, they have good lead flow, they're making money, those kinds of things like we talked about, and then making sure that they're hiring. So I do all of that, and then I'm going to bring you a list of those people, usually about 10 to 15 a week that I find, and then give that to you and say, hey, okay, go get in touch with these people, send them a message, which I'm going to go over a message structure here in a second, but we'll do that every week. And as of today, I'm going to give you a list to start with. And since it's already Thursday, I'm going to say just go ahead and work with that list until Monday so you can get started for your first few days, reaching out to people. And then on Monday, I'm going to go over with you how to use those lists to find other businesses that are hiring as well, and how to identify these businesses for yourself. So I'm going to teach you that skill while at the same time constantly feeding you these businesses who are hiring. Does that make sense?
Sweet. Now,
Okay.
let's say, like hair all over me. Sorry. Um, let's say, I don't know, in a couple 3 weeks, I land something. Do you stop giving me those leads?
So if you land a job and you decide I'm taking this job and it's a good job, then yeah, I mean, at that point, I mean, I don't know why you would still want the leads.
I was just wondering if, like, as
Yeah.
soon as I get the job, basically, like, your and I's communication is done.
Oh, okay. So I will get you into the job, and then you can still
Hmm.
call me or text me at any time. Like if for some reason you get into the job and it turns out they lied to you for some reason, which rarely happens, but if it turns out to, not be good, no, I'm still here to help you. The goal is to get you into a good job,
Okay, cool.
not just to get a job and cut you off. So no, I'm here to help you and make sure that we see that process all the way through. Yeah.
Okay, sweet.
So I'm going to give you that list. And then on Monday, I'll show you how, basically, I'll take you through the process of what I do to verify these businesses. And I'll show you that yourself. That way, when you're on Instagram and you're talking to these businesses, if you come across one on your own, you can kind of be able to tell, oh, this might be a good one. And then you can get in touch with them real fast, right? So it's a valuable skill for you to have. But I'm going to do most of that work for you every week. So I'll just constantly be feeding you new businesses who I've gotten in touch with that I know are hiring.
Okay, sweet.
So as far as what to say, so I'll give you these businesses, right? You're going to need to message them. That's basically all that you have to do is send them the messages. Now, before you
Okay.
message somebody, you want to make sure that you're following them on Instagram. So click the follow button before you reach out to them, because people, if you message them and you're not following them, for some reason, people don't like that, right? It's kind of like that's just how it is. So it's actually kind of important that you do that. And then ideally, at the end of each week, you can go back and unfollow all the people who didn't respond. I would typically do that maybe once a week, because you don't want to end up following too many people. You start to kind of look like a spam account thing. So
Right.
it's not super important, but it's important to consider. Now, as far as the message structure goes, this is kind of a structure, and I'm going to text you this as well. I would change this up a little bit to make it more personable for you. But what I say is, let's pretend the guy's name is Ryan. Hey, Ryan, my name is Matt. I really like your content and I love the real estate space. I know that you get lots of leads coming in. And if you're looking for a closer, I'd love a chance to close those leads for you and help you grow your business. I have this and this experience in working or in sales. I'm reliable and ready to get to work. Thanks for your time. Have a great day. So very polite, compliment them, tell them, most importantly, you're telling them how you're going to make their life easier and just keeping it short and sweet while getting all the information in. You don't want to send these long pages. You don't want it to be too short.
Yeah.
You want it to be something like that. And these messages, bro, get like, it's crazy. These people get messages all the time and they're fucking terrible. Dude, people are just like, hey, give me a job. Are you hiring? Like, people can't even send messages with proper grammar. When you send messages like this, people reply to these.
Okay, sweet. Yeah,
Now you
short,
can,
concise, to the point. Simple as
yeah,
that.
yeah. So you can change it up
Okay.
to make it personable to you. This is just a structure that I like to use. And you can also come up with your own as well. It doesn't have to be my words. Now, that's kind of how we're going to do just the first few days. I'm going to give you this first list, kind of get familiar with this message and just getting in touch with them. And then in 3 or 4 days, when we have our next call, I'll give you another list, show you how I identify them, take you through all of that. And we can keep going from there. Basically, I can verify all of these businesses for you up front. I can do that, no problem. I can guarantee you that they're hiring, that they need people. The only thing I can't do is get in contact with them. So that's really your only job, is to
Sure.
get in contact with the businesses that I give you. I will do everything else for you. If you do that consistently every day, you will 100% succeed and get a great job. It might take a week, it might take a couple months, but it will happen. I've done this tons of times with tons of people, and I can say that for a fact. If you just do the steps I give you, this will work. There's too many jobs out there. There's too much of a need for these people for it not to work for you. So what I would say is the only way that you would fail is if you don't reach out to these businesses. So just don't miss a day.
Right. How long, in your experience that you can remember, how long does it normally take for them to respond if they're interested?
Yeah, so sometimes they could wait an entire week. Sometimes I've had people respond 2 weeks later. I mean, ideally, you want them to respond that day, right? But that's just
Oh,
not how
sure, yeah.
people work these days, especially with their phones. So that's actually an important point. Just because someone doesn't get back to you within a couple of days doesn't mean that they're ignoring you or that they don't need somebody. It just means they could be busy. They may not have seen it. They may be not ready to bring somebody on. And then next week, suddenly they're like, oh, I need somebody. This guy sent me a great message. Let me get in touch with him. So look at every message you send as like a fish hook, and it's just floating out there.
Yeah.
Right. So the more you put out, eventually you're going to get a catch. Like I said, you're not sending random messages. These are targeted people who I have verified. So I know for a fact that they need people and that they're a good business. So as long as you know that, we're good, right? All you got to do is get in touch with them.
Okay, sweet.
And then I would, where was I? Yeah. And the way that I look at it is like, sometimes this can get a little boring because you're just reaching out to people, and a lot of times people aren't going to reply right away. But the way I look at it is, you just have to send some messages each day to get a great job where you're making like 10K a month from home. Like, that's an even trade-off to me, right? So I kind of like to put it that way to people.
Yeah.
And the thing is just knowing the right people to message, and I'm going to show you exactly how to do that. So I think that's most of how I wanted to get you started, just for the first 3 or 4 days. And then on Monday, we can get really rolling into it. I'm going to send you that list, and that should be plenty of work for the first few days. Message number. So ideally, you want to get to like 20 to 30 messages a day, which sounds like a lot, but you can do like 10 or 15 in like 10 minutes, right? Like that's no problem.
Right.
Since I'm showing you exactly who to message, all you have to do is kind of copy and paste the message structure that you've settled
Yeah.
on, and then just press the button. So, yeah, it sounds like a lot, but it's actually really easy. And once you've been doing it for a couple of days, you could do it in your sleep.
Yeah.
Do you have any questions at all about all of this, how to get started, anything you want to talk about?
Nothing with that pertains to this. I
Okay.
guess once they bring you on and everything like that, and it's legit business, all that type of stuff, are you getting like W-2s to fill out, all that type of thing? How is that kind of structured?
Typically, any sales position is going to be a 1099, so it's not going to be a W-2.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay.
If they
Sweet.
gave
Yep.
you a W-2, that would be the first time that's ever happened to me. And yeah, so I would say every time it's going to be 1099.
Okay. Sweet.
Okay. And so just to summarize, just remember that a lot of times they're not going to reply right away. That doesn't mean you're doing anything wrong. That's just how people are these days. They might get back to you 2 weeks from now.
Yep.
So a lot of times you're going to be sending messages with no replies. That's fine and that's normal. If you just do what I tell you, you will get a good job. Just look at it like, hey, for the first couple of weeks, I'm going to lower my expectations because I know the results will come as long as I just
Yeah.
follow this process. I've never had anyone fail who did what I told them to do, so it shouldn't be any different for you either.
Okay.
And then as far as
Sweet.
your profile, it looks good. I would change that profile picture if you want to. And then right now, I'm going to text you that message structure really quick. Give me 1 second. And you can take this and change it as much as you want.
Yeah. Yeah. Sure. Yeah.
Okay, just
Are
sent
these
it to you.
businesses? Yeah. Are these businesses, obviously they're digital. Are most of these people that you're finding and you're working with, are they all over the world? Are they West Coast, East Coast, random, doesn't really matter type thing?
Most of it's going to be in America, but it's going to be all over America, right?
Yeah.
I don't think I've placed
Okay.
anyone in one of these positions that was outside of America. Just doesn't mean it can happen, but most of them are going to be in America. Yeah.
Right.
And
Okay. Sweet.
also, when I'm targeting these businesses for you and verifying them, I'm looking at that type of stuff, right? Like if they're out of the country, a lot of times it'll be in a different language. And so we're obviously not going to do that because you don't speak that language, you know? So most of them
Right.
are going to be
Well, I
in
guess that's
America.
what I was curious about on I was just curious on like if you landed some in India or whatever, and I'd have to be up at like 3 in the morning, you know what I mean, doing that type of thing, which would
Yeah,
suck.
no, no. Yeah, that would
Okay,
suck.
sweet.
And then again, you can text me at any time. So you have a question 10 minutes from now,
Okay.
tomorrow, whatever, that's what I'm here for, right? So you have a question at any time, I'm happy to answer that. My basic job is to feed you these businesses and to keep you accountable and keep you motivated. So that's
Right.
what I'm here for. So anything that you need, you can text me anytime. I want you to succeed, right? So that's what I'm here to ensure happens.
Okay. Sweet, man. Sounds good.
Okay, well, when I get off this call, I'm gonna upload this video. It's gonna be a private YouTube link so that only you and I can see it because I can't share Zoom calls. So I have to put it on YouTube, but only you and I will be able
Okay.
to see it. So I'm gonna do that, and then I'll send you this video, and then I'll send you that first list Give me about an hour to do that, and then I'll send it to you as a Google Doc.
Yeah.
Okay. And then if you have any questions at all, let me know. And then on Monday, we'll get back on. And once you get the list and start sending out some messages, just let me know if you have any questions.
Cool, man. Sounds good. Thanks for all your help. Really appreciate it.
Yeah, I'm excited to get started.
Yep. Let's do it, man.
All right. I'll talk to you soon.
Yep. You got it, brother. Have a good one.
Okay. You too. Bye.